I've got something different for you to try. Okay, something that you can use intermittently just to throw into the mix. Okay, maybe you're getting a little tired of intermittent fasting, you're getting a little tired of traditional keto, and you just want to do something different. I call it fat fasting, and it's just like the name implies. You're going a period of time where you're just consuming fats. You're not completely fasting, you're not doing the traditional keto diet. You're taking a day or two where you're just consuming fats. There's a lot of benefits to this, and there's a lot of reasons behind it. Now, as far as clinical evidence backing it up, there's not a whole lot out there, but there's also not a whole lot out there surrounding much of anything when you really get down to metabolic health. So I'll break it down, give you my reasoning. Hey, so we've got videos coming out almost every single day right now. So make sure you're keeping it locked in at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time on this channel almost every single day. Hit that red subscribe button, then hit that little bell icon to turn on notifications. And after you're done watching this video, if you can, go ahead and check out Sun Warrior down below in the description. They have something called the Warrior Blend, which is a really cool mix of pea and hemp protein. So if you're trying to kind of reduce the carbon footprint on your body a little bit as far as protein powders go, not trying to just consume a bunch of whey, might be a good alternative for you. So if you're doing intermittent fasting and you're looking for something to eat in your eating window, or you're doing a ketogenic diet and you need to get a shake in, but you don't want to consume a bunch of whey, definitely something to check out. So give them a shot after you watch this video. So let me give you some tips here. When you do a fat fast, and I'll break down how to do it, the whole goal is you're getting calories in without any kind of blood sugar spikes, okay? So what happens a lot of times when you consume protein, or of course when you consume even a negligible amount of carbs, it does affect your insulin levels and it does affect your blood sugar to some degree, okay? Gluconeogenesis, although it is demand driven, which means that when you consume protein, it does convert to carbohydrates or sugar to some degree, that is going to affect your blood sugar. Now, one thing that I've noticed in time is that when I consume protein first thing in the morning, there is a big difference in how I feel mentally compared to when I'm fasting. Now, I still feel great when I consume protein. Please don't get me wrong. Protein is not bad at all. Okay, meat's not bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I notice a difference when I'm fasting versus when I have a little bit of food, a little bit of protein. So throughout this sort of measurement of my cognitive awareness, I wanted to test some things. So I said, okay, I'm going to consume only fat and see what happens. Well, I found that mentally I felt pretty good. I felt much more equal to fasting when I was just consuming fats than I did when I would just consume proteins. Now, the reason that I say this is just because it could be a blood sugar thing. Now, those of you that do a carnivore style diet, your body acclimates to a lot of meat, a lot of protein. So it could be a little bit of a different story. So this might not be the ideal video for you. This might not be speaking exactly to you. But when you consume fats, you're still allowing your body to have the calories that it needs to at least keep your metabolism up to snuff. Okay, one of the biggest issues that I do have with intermittent fasting is it can become somewhat of a chronic thing. Okay, you fast and then you fast the next day and then you fast the next day and you almost get addicted to fasting. Let's address the elephant in the room here. Fasting can sometimes cause you to develop almost an addictive-like behavior with fasting. You feel so good with it, you get good results, so you just keep on fasting. Well, eventually that can affect your metabolism. It's natural for it to slow down. Okay, so you have to take some stops to make sure you adjust it. But digestively, it can be hard for you to just go right back to eating larger meals. So one of the things that I suggest is, okay, break it up and do a fat fast. Okay, where you're only consuming fats. And I'm talking things like, okay, have your bulletproof coffee, have your keto coffee, okay, with a little bit of butter or a little bit of ghee or a little bit of MCT oil. Okay, have that in your coffee. That's your breakfast. And then what do you do throughout the rest of the day? Okay, well, maybe you have some tea with a little bit of coconut oil in it. Okay, or maybe you go throughout the rest of the day and maybe you have some other kind of beverage where you put a little bit of EVOO in, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Try to get some poly or monounsaturated fats in there from other sources. Okay, the purpose here is to help your body generate ketones from still an exogenous form of food, right? You're not producing them endogenously. Whenever you are bringing fats into your body is less likely at that point in time to be pulling fat from your stored body fat tissue. And that's okay. Okay? So maybe you're not burning fat at that moment, but you at least are conditioning the liver to be producing ketones at that point in time. So what I recommend when you do a fat fast is that you try to get a full spectrum of all the different kinds of fats throughout the course of the day. Okay, so get a little bit in the way of MCTs. Maybe do those in the morning. That way you're getting those quick acting, quick digesting, quick ketone producing fats in your system. Okay, And then I also want you to focus on getting something in the way of polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats. So we're talking about just good healthy oils, okay? So maybe a little bit of olive oil, maybe a little bit of avocado oil, macadamia nut oil. We're talking just the oils. We're not talking about getting them from the whole food sources. I don't care what you mix them with. If you mix it with coffee, if you mix it with tea, whatever, okay? I encourage you to stay away from things like the avocados and stuff like that, simply because there are a little bit of carbohydrates in there and a little, like 1 or 2 grams of protein, depending on the avocado. Hass has a little bit more than, say, a California. But still, the point is we're trying to just keep it very, very clean. It should be a 0 carb day, effectively. But then I also want to make sure that you're getting something in the way of saturated fats, okay? So coconut oil, if you want, palm oil. You can even go with some kind of beef tallow or duck fat or anything like that. Again, it mixes perfectly fine into a beverage. It doesn't have to be the most palatable thing in the world. But again, the purpose of this is we're trying to have a little bit of a pattern interrupt with the body. Okay, it's not something you do long term. It's something you say, I'm going to do this for a day and I'm going to implement the fats in. Now, calorie-wise, where do you want to be? I usually recommend being at 25% of your daily caloric intake during a fat fast. So if you normally consume 2,000 calories in a given day when you're fasting, okay, or when you are doing a regular ketogenic diet, okay, I want you to cut that in a quarter. So you're going to consume 500 calories, but you're going to be spread throughout the day with fats. Okay, and this goes for whatever your basal metabolic rate is or whatever your normal calorie intake is. Okay, if you're normally consuming 4,000 calories, then you're going to consume 1,000 calories coming from fats, and you're going to spread them out throughout the day with different kinds of fats. This is something that is going to help you reset the metabolism. It is going to break up the day a little bit. It's going to break up the week, and it's going to make it so that you can get back on your intermittent fasting regimen and quite possibly even break through a plateau. So if you're not wanting to do a full-length 2 or 3 day fast, switch it over to a fat fast for a day or two, and you're going to see some pretty awesome results. I'll start breaking down more of the science, start breaking down more of the clinical stuff if you guys want to see it, but I want to make sure that you guys are interested in this. So feel free to comment down below in the comment section and let me know what you want to see, and we'll rock and roll. As always, keep it locked in here on my channel. I'll see you in the next video.